Sanhedrin Daf 25 lines from Dalit Amud Bet. The last one we mentioned is that everybody holds that you go according to pronunciation. The problem is the Kul Amal Yeshlim Mekrat. Does everybody really hold that? But Tanya, it says Letotafot, Letotafot, Letotafot. Pasuk says the head tefillin three times as Totafot. First two times the out of Vav, which is singular, and the third time is with a Vav, which is plural. 1 + 1 + 2 is 4. Arekan Arba. David Ishmael, it's according to Ishmael, there's four compartments because of that reason. Rabbi Akiva said, no, Eno Tzarich, you don't have to learn from there. Where do we learn it from? Tot, the Katfishstein. Tot in the language of, in the place called Kaspi, that language tot means two. Pat in Afriki, Stein means pat in Afriki, Africa, it means two there as well, which means four. Regardless, we see that Rabbi Ishmael held that you go according to the written form and not the reading form. The Gemara says, okay, there's a machloket that depends on what's going on when we go according to pronunciation, when we go into when do we argue? The only time where there's an argument is when the pronunciation looks different in the way it's written, it's missing a letter, etc. However, the case of halav and halev, the case of the milk and meat, the milk and fat question, in that case, since it's written identical in the same what letters at least, the nikutura different though. Yeshem mikrabi go according to pronunciation. That's how we know that it goes according to milk. But the one second, the high yireh. We have a different birata that mentions the story about Hashem and Bnei Israel being seen and seeing Hashem by the Shalosh Regalim. It says, sorry, the Chiyah doesn't know that's the same, and it's still an argument. Brita says, Yochanan ben the Havai, Havamir Meshun Yehuda ben Tima, Hasuma, a person, Be'echad, Be'enav, who's blind in one eye, Patur min Riyah, is Patur from going to the Shalosh Regalim to see Hashem. Shemar, Pasuk says, Yir'eh, Yir'eh. It says every day should see Hashem, and Hashem should see them. The same way that Hashem sees them perfectly, so too they have to be able to see perfectly. After like Hashem has perfect vision, so too we have to have two good eyes. And therefore, a person with one eye is blind is patur. So we see from here, even though the letters are the same with different pronunciation, we can still learn halacha even though the letters are identical. We just look at the chalev halav. So how do we know by chalev halav that you're still asur with meat and milk versus anything else? The Pasuk specifically mentioned lo tevashel, don't cook the meat. Therefore, what is something we have to make it make sense with what the context. The context of the daf is the context of the pasuk is cooking, and you cook milk with meat. You don't cook fat with meat, and that's why we assume it's the milk. Okay, the money cases there are three. If the judge is a professional, he can do it by himself. Says, I am professional enough to judge money cases myself. He says the same thing. We ask the question. When they said they're allowed to do it by themselves, does that mean because they know so much halacha? Or maybe they know they're very good at analyzing things? And they also got permission from the Resh Galuta, which is the head rabbi of that in Galut. Maybe you need all three. Maybe if they don't get permission, they still can't judge. Or maybe if they don't get permission, it still works. Is it dependent on the permission or not? Tashma bring proof. The more made a mistake while making a din in a money case. If they accepted upon you, they accepted you as their judge, knowing that you might make a mistake, then but they didn't accept you, you went to you regardless, you have to go pay them back. Now we see from here, because he did not have permission for the to do from the Resh Galuta, we see from here, and that's why he had to pay, but we still see, we see that his verdict is still good. We see from here that it's a good verdict. So even though he has to pay if he made a mistake, if they didn't accept him, but that still shows that his deen was a good deen, even though he didn't get permission from the Resh Galuta. But over here, we still see from the fact that he has to reimburse the guy who made a mistake too, we still see that his din works. Marav, whoever wants to judge a case, and he wants to make himself patur if he makes a mistake, go get permission from Resh Galuta. He also said, do the same thing. Pshita. Now, obviously, if someone got permission from the chief rabbi in Babel and then you judged in Babel, it definitely worked. And same thing with Eretz Yisrael for Eretz Yisrael. And also, Bavel permission also works in Eretz Yisrael, like reciprocity. Because the leader in Bavel is called a scepter, and the leader in Eretz Yisrael is referred to as just a lesser authority. Kirtan the Brata says, "Lo yasur shevet miYehuda elu rashei gulot Bavel shirodin et Yisrael b'shevet." When it says the pasuk of Lo yasur shevet miYehuda, this refers to the leaders, the Resh Galutas of Bavel, who will rule over Bnei Israel strongly. That pasuk refers to this is referring to the grandchildren of Hillel who will teach Torah. So therefore, we see that Bavel is superior. Therefore, you could have reciprocity from Bavel to Eretz Yisrael. What if you get permission to Eretz Yisrael? Does that count towards Bavel? Bring proof. He made a mistake while teaching, while judging. If they accepted you without any without as their judge, then you don't have to pay. If you didn't get permission, go pay. But Rabbi Bar Hana had permission from the Nasi in Eretz Yisrael, like we'll see. So we see from here that because he didn't have it in Bavel, it doesn't count. Proof that Eretz Yisrael does not transfer over to Bavel. One second, it doesn't work for Eretz Yisrael for Bavel. Rabbi Huna one time argued in Bavel with the people in the Resh Galuta's house. Amar, he says, I didn't get permission from you guys. I don't have to listen to you guys. I got from my father, my master, who got it from Rav, who got it from Rabbi Chia, who got it from Rabbi. So we see he's trying to say that he got it from Eretz Yisrael, and therefore he doesn't listen to Babel. He was just trying to overpower them with his words, but technically he is subservient towards the Resh Galuta in Babel. So what's the point of getting permission all the way to Babel if it wouldn't work? What's the point of getting permission from Eretz Yisrael to Babel if it doesn't work in Babel? Where it says, the permission worked for those cities outside of the border, that he's able to at least dan din over there, he's able to judge over there. What permission did he get? He was going down to Babel from Eretz Yisrael. Rabbi Chia told Rabbi, Ben Ahi Yored leBavel. My brother's son's going down to Babel. Pay attention, my brother's son. Yored, he's asking permission, can he make halachot regarding Isur V'Heter? Yored, he said yes. Rabbi said yes. Yadin, can he judge money cases? Rabbi said yes, you can judge money cases. Yatir Bechorot, can he say which animals are considered a mum for a bechor in order to make him mutar? Right? A bechor is supposed to be a hekdesh, but if it has a mum, it's mutar. So can he judge those cases? Yatir, Rabbi said yes, he may. However, you have an ahit Rav when Rav is going down. Amar le Rabbi Bechia Rabbi told Rabbi Ben Ahuti Yored leBavel. My sister's son's going down to Bavel. Yored, can he do Isur V'Heter? Yored, he said yes. Yadin, can he judge money cases? Yadin, he said yes. Yitir Bechorot, can he judge animal cases? Yeah, Al Yatir. Rabbi said no, can't. No money. No animal cases. Like Mark says, okay, one second. Ma'ishna lemor de kakari ben achi. How come Rabbi Yechia referred to Rabbi Hana as his brother's son? Or ma'ishna lemor, and how come Rav de kakari ben achuti he called him my sister's son? Maybe you might think that's the actual situation. Yani, maybe Rav was the son of Rabbi Chia's sister, and Rabbi Hana was the son of Rabbi Chia's brother. But that doesn't make sense. We have a brayta. Evo b'Hana v'Shela umarta Rabbi Chia. Evo, the Rav's father, and Hana, which is the father of Hana, Shaila, Marza, and Rabbi Chia, Kula b'nei Abba bar Acha Karsla mekafir, have their older children of Hana, Abba Acha Karsla from Kafir. So we see Abba and Rav were both brothers from the we're both sons from Rabbi Chia's brothers. So how come did he refer to him as the son of his sister if it's from the son of his brother? So the Gemara says no. Rav bar Ahua dehave bar Achte. Rav was the son of Rabbi Chia's brother and the son of his sister. How does that make sense? Now she explains that Abba, the grandfather, had a son, Ivo, when he married, his wife died, and he married a lady who had a daughter. And therefore, technically, Ivo and that girl was not related, his stepdaughter. Rabbi Chia was born after with the second marriage of the father. And therefore, Rabbi Chia's half brother Ivo married this half sister of Rabbi Chia because it's not related, because they were just step siblings, and Rav was their son. Therefore, Rav technically was the son of Rabbi Chia's half brother and the son of his half sister. All right, draw the family tree in that way. So that's why Rabbi Chia called him son of his brother. Now, people might have a different answer. Al Shem Chochmato, he called him his sister's son because of his wisdom. Taktiv, Pasuk says, Emor la chochma ahotiyat. Wisdom is sometimes called sister. That's why he called my sister's son. Now the Gemara says, "Yatir b'charot al yatir." How come Rabbi did? My time. How come Rabbi did not allow Rav to judge bechor cases, the animal cases? You know, Mishum Hakim. Maybe you might say he's not smart enough. Haka Amrinan the Hakim Pillow. We just said he's very wise. Ela Mishum Lobaki Amu. Maybe you might say he doesn't have experience with mums, and therefore he shouldn't judge it. Amar Rav said himself, "Shmona asar chodashim gedati etzero ebe mimal ledarad eze mum kavuv eze mum over." He says specifically that he for 18 months he spent by animals and sheeps and whatever and by the shepherds to find out to be able to tell easily if the mum is a real mum that makes it mutar, or maybe it's a temporary mum that's going to go away and therefore it should still be asur. So how come? So he for sure knew mum. So how come he couldn't judge? Ella Rabbi did not give him permission because he wanted to give kavod to the cousin, the family member Rabbi Rahman ibn earlier. But then the different answer, Mishum Hagufeh. He said this as well. He says yes, he's a professional, but he's too much of a professional. Why? Because he knows every detail extremely well. He might say, "Oh, this mum is mutar," which people may not be able to know why. The Amrei then they might have another animal later on, and they'll say, ki hai gavna Rav, Rav said this is mutar in the last time. The Atil Mishlim they might say that this mum, which technically was a temporary mum, not a permanent mum, this blemish was not a real blemish. They might say that the second animal is kasher because they thought that that's what Rav did the first time, because Rav had too much knowledge. He was too professional. That's why he didn't want him walking around saying mutar asur. Like you have those people that they get one heter from the rabbi and they say everything's mutar from now on. Okay. Yore. Rabbi Chia asked Rabbi, can he judge Yisur v'heter? He said yes. So the question is, if you knew it, why do you have to ask permission? The Gemara says no, because of the story. Then one time Rabbi went to a certain place. He saw people kneading their dough in tameh utensils, like tameh bowls. Amar Leim said to them, what are you doing? Your dough's going to come tameh from the tameh vessel. Amar said, no. Tamid echad ba'lekan. One time a rabbi told us, he said, me betzaim en machshirin. Waters from the dirty water from the marsh from the thing don't make food tameh. It can't. It does not allow food to become tameh. Usually, water will make things tameh. They were obviously wrong because all waters allow something to become tameh. It prepares it to make it tameh eligible. But they misheard him. Vehu mebetzim darashlu. He didn't tell them mebetzaim, which is marsh water, like muddy water. He was telling them mebetzim, egg liquid, yani the eggs. Ve'inu several mebetzim. They thought he said marsh water. V'tau b'hanami. They also made another mistake, and someone else said me kiramayon ume piga pislin. The waters of the Kiramayon River and the waters of the Figa River are also pasul. Because they're marsh waters. They said, okay, that was in regards to using it as a korban hatat to make people, the paraduma. They said maybe you can't use it for that because that's make people tahor. Therefore, maybe also it won't count because it's dirty. It also won't count if you use it to prepare food as well. Below, it's not true. The pasuk by paraduma, you need regular spring water, and over here. Any type of water used to prepare food makes it prepared and eligible for tuma. They made another mistake. Tana, right? It says at that time they made a decree. Therefore, they said whoever wants to make permission to imposek, you have to get permission first from your rabbi. Tanhum traveled. He taught a halacha in the city in Hatar. He said, "Mutala taught Pesach, you're not to soak wheat on Pesach." I'm going to tell them, "Lav Rabbi Mani b'min Tzur ikahacha." Your rabbi, Rabbi Mani of Tzur, is here. But then, it says, a student cannot teach halacha when his rabbi is there. He's 3 parasot away, which is a very big distance. Kineged Mahane Israel, that is how far, that's like around it's around like 24,000 amot. That's because that's how big Mahane Israel was. That's how we learned it was. And that's how we learned because Moshe had to be certain far away from the camp. So Amar lahu, Tanhum said, so he's like, what are you doing, Tanhum? Why are you talking in front of your rabbi? Amar lahu, he said, oh, I didn't know he was saying. Rabbi Yahya Hazilahu Gavra Dahva Ka'be Bet Gavra Rabbi Yahya saw a guy standing in a cemetery. Amar lahu, Lab Ben Ish Plani Kohenata. Are you not a son of a Kohen? How can you be in a cemetery? You become tameh. Amar lahu, he's like, yeah, I'm the son of that Kohen. Avu Dahva Gavra Begava Einam Hava. But my father couldn't control himself. And Atanina Birusha Vechilo, he married a divorced woman, and I am the son of that, and therefore I'm pasul from Kehuna. Now, we said earlier regarding giving permission to teach and to be posek. We saw pshita lepalga. We see that you're allowed to give authorization and permission to do certain halachot, not others, right? We saw that you're allowed to do money cases, but you couldn't do bechorot, or you can't teach the animals. Now, how come, honey? Al tenaimai. What if can you do conditional permission, like a time limit? Tashman bring proof that Marle Rabbi Yochanan Rav Shimon, he asked, he told him, Hare ata b'shutenu ash tavod. You have permission to do halachot until you come back to us. So we see that you're able to give permission for a certain amount of time.